Have you noticed that increasingly we're becoming a culture that is very adverse to failure, and that might have a lot of merits, but I also think it has a lot of demerits because failing is supposed to be part of learning. Unfortunately, because of a lot of either religious, cultural, and even personal beliefs, a lot of people believe or think that to be related or connected to failure is something really bad. But I want to believe that not all kinds of failures are bad in themselves. Rather, we need to understand how to fail well, because a lot depends on it. And as I think about this, I think about even marriage, my marriage. And I want to be very careful here, but I would really acknowledge the fact that the reason why I am a better person in my marriage is because I failed severally in a relationship. And that for me is a classic example of how failure can be very useful. And I also think that, just think about growing up as children, we often learn how to write with pencils, and then gradually, as we transition, we begin to use a pen that is often inerasable or not erasable when you make a mistake. And as children, you are at liberty to make mistakes severally, right? And then to learn from them and to have an eraser to correct it. But as adults, we think that we have lost the liberty to fail. So sometimes we're so hard on ourselves. But I think that there is so much value in learning how to fail well, even as adults. Because if you do not learn the advantage of failing well, you eventually grow up into an adult who begins to fail in high-risk tasks, in high-risk places. You get to your workplace, and because you have not learned to manage and to navigate lower-stake taxes and lower-stake assignments, you eventually become a victim of failing in high-stake responsibilities. And think about even our country, Nigeria. A lot of those we call leaders, whether in political spaces, in religious spaces, in work spaces, whatever institution, think about it. A lot of them didn't fail at lower tax, or maybe they even failed but didn't learn from it. And now they have bigger responsibility of leading bigger organizations, leading the entire country, and see the devastating effect. The effect is so clear that because this person has not learned from failing, this person has not failed well, the person now fails when the risks and when the taxes, the odds are higher. And I think this is something that we really need to pay attention, especially as we raise our children. We need to raise them to teach them the value of failing well and the value of learning from failing, and not be very adverse to failing. We want to micromanage our kids so that they wouldn't be identified with failing. But so many of us, for example, I'm a product of failing severally, trying several things and failing and learning from them. And I think that there's so much value in failing well.